comb my hair.
Yes.
I'm Ace. Welcome to my place.
Captain Ace, everybody. Hey, how's it going, everyone? I don't know if anybody's here. I haven't even looked at the chat
What is
yet.
happening? I completely goofed off and I forgot to upload the pictures that I want to use for tonight. So I am actually going through real quick and doing that right this second.
All right, all right. Let me see. We got Hinder Collector 41. Hey, how's it going? You're the only one. Hey, bud. That's fine. You're the only one that counts, man. You rewatching
right,
the G1
with me, folks. Hold on.
Hinderer is
We're almost there. Let's see now if they all load. Very nice. All right, let's see if they all will load or not. Thank you, everybody that's watching. We really, truly appreciate it. This is your Therapy Thursday, which honestly, you know, it's going to sound silly, but it seems pretty damn appropriate for the week that, you know, many of us are having, regardless if you are affected by these celebrity deaths that we're going to talk about. If you're just having a rough week, if you're having one of those, oh my God, it's only Thursday, I've got one more day to go in the week. Well, hey, come on over here. We know we're about 10 minutes behind on that 7-hour mark or 7 o'clock mark, but we'll go a few minutes after the time to make up for it. But if you're having one of those kind of days, come on over here and enjoy yourself as much as you can, that is, with myself, Ace. Well, my name, Dr. Ace Furter Prime. I thought that was pretty dang appropriate for the conversation I think we're about to have. And then my good friend, Joe Prime 1986. Joe, what's happening?
What's going on, my man? Just finished up man, I swear to God, I got this new camera stand and it is all over the place. What a horrible day. You know what? I hadn't heard until you texted me this morning, because I got up, ran the kids to school, blah, 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 didn't even look at my phone, and man, I swear to God, I almost dropped my damn phone.
Yeah.
What a yeah, I'm not going to say tragic. The guy, he was 85 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what was the show with Eddie Murphy where he says we have 75 winters, we have 75 summers, we have 75 springs and falls if we're lucky? You know what I'm talking about?
Shoot, I don't even know. That is such a quote, but I understand the quote.
There was a quote from him where he's coming out and he's like, seize the day, take everything you can, breathe it in and enjoy it, because that's all we have. And every day, it seems like within the past couple of years, and it's because we're all getting a little older and our heroes are getting into their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And or, like today, we lost Peter Cullen.
I'm still trying to look. Yes, 100%. And I'm trying to load these pictures still. They are taking forever. So I'm trying to get
take your time.
A good Peter one that I've got to throw up on.
Most of mine will sit there and spin and
load
spin.
The screen and then load. That's what all of mine did. I just tried to load 12 pictures. Yeah, it's absolutely pain in the tailpipe. But I thought I had a better picture than this, but here this is. We'll just kind of throw this picture up as we talk.
That's nice.
Now, I downloaded all of these pictures off of Google and stuff like that, so any credit does not go to me. It'll go to whoever the hell made all these and stuff like that. So, Hinderer, what's happening, Hinderer? I know I think I said hi to you anyways. I know Joe mentioned you. Thanks for popping in here, brother. But yeah, we've got, you know what, actually, because you can sort of see my screen still. We'll keep Optimus right there. Does that look good? Got little Optimus in the corner
That's
here.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Awesome, cool. We'll keep them there. So, you know what, Joe? All right. So, real quick, just with Ace's backstory with Peter Cullen here, I do not have the connection like a lot of my Transformer friends do, but I do have a very, very strong connection to Peter outside of the Transformers. One of these characters on the screen right now, I mimicked his voice for years and years until people were like, dude, you need to shut the hell up with that. I didn't know until this very day, today, that Peter Cullen was the voice of Monterey Jack from Rescue Rangers. I never in my life knew that. And for the longest time, oh, what's everybody? I've always just enjoyed that voice. And to find out today through the news of him passing away that he did his voice, it makes me feel like a knucklehead, because it's like, oh my God, I could have been celebrating this guy in my own capacity, but I didn't know. Like, I just never, because he's such a talented, versatile voice actor. I just watched a video earlier of him on the red carpet for, I think it was Bumblebee, and he's talking about his joy for being Optimus Prime. And he goes from sounding like Peter Cullen to, I am Optimus Prime. Like this stoic, regal voice to where you're like, oh, you got my attention more than you already did. So, but again, I don't have that connection specifically to the Transformers, because that was just a few years before I was born. But I'm going to let you kind of run with this one for a minute with Peter, just because you have experienced it all from the beginning with him. But my only side story that I have about Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, for those who don't know, Frank Welker was Megatron. Oh my gosh. And just like Peter, so many other iconic voices that you would be like, what? He was this? Like, he was Scooby-Doo? What? Like, incredible. These, I can't speak for voice actors today, but these voice actors from the 80s and the 90s, they were not one-trick ponies. They were in at least one of your favorite cartoons as a character you would have never have imagined. So do yourself some, some justice and Google your favorite voice actor and just see what else they've done besides the things you are familiar with, because it'll probably blow your mind. So it was 2018. I was at Boston Fan Expo or Boston Comic-Con, whatever the hell they call it. And I went there, speaking of voice actors, I went there to meet my favorite voice actor of all time from any video game, from any cartoon, and that's David Hayter from Metal Gear Solid. He is my favorite. I can't even express it any more than he just is. Google him if you don't know who he is, folks. He's phenomenal. Just fantastic guy. One of my very first videos I ever uploaded to my channel is a cameo that I had David do for me and my friend's birthday. It's available to check out. He calls me by my name, Ace, so it's very cool. But he's just my favorite. So at that Comic-Con, standing in the long row of voice actors, and you've got tons of them. There's tons of these guys and gals. Down at the end of one of the rows together is Peter and Frank. Both of them standing there. Now, I didn't jump in line to be like, I have to meet them because I know who they are. But I did take the time to stand there and listen to them and watch them talk. And then when they did their little panel, I took the time to sit there because I knew, guilt of omission, I thought both of them were like 80 years old already at that time. And this was, almost 10 years ago, if that, a little less than that. So in my head, I was like, oh my God, these guys are probably going to go soon. Like, I know that's a dark thought, but that was my mindset of like, I'm never going to get this chance again. So I need to embrace it. And I'm glad I did in this retrospect moment, because another channel that I've mentioned a bunch before, It's Chad. He does mandatory fun, and he switched it up today. Instead of his normal topic, he did a Peter Cullen tribute. And I respect anybody that can show their emotions on a camera. And I really respect somebody that it takes a lot for them to get to that point and allow themselves to be vulnerable like that. And Chad, as soon as he started that video, he had tears. His eyes were swelled up. And he even said, he goes, I was okay before this video started. He goes, but seeing all your guys' comments, it's hit me. And it just sucks. And I don't even really know where I was going with that, because now I'm just kind of in the motion of it. Like, I'm really thinking about the end of it. You know what? Like, it sounds so dark and awful, but it is. It's like when someone like Harrison Ford passes away, and unfortunately it will happen, there will be no more discussions of, will he return for Indy? He will not. So with this moment with someone like Peter Cullen, it's how many Transformer movies are there, Joe? Live action ones? Like 7?
Yep.
Okay. Peter Cullen has been in every fucking one of them as Optimus Prime. I mean, he touched your generation, and I'm going to hand it off to you here in a second. He touched your generation with with the cartoon originally, and then the 86 movie that capitalized, an entire generation of kids. And then you have whatever the early 2000s version would be for the live action movie. And then from early 2000, let's say 2006, maybe 2007, all the way to 2018, 2019. So 11, 12 years. Not only did he grab your attention, he grabbed a whole nother 2 generations attention with those movies. So he's like the Hugh Jackman, or Hugh Jackman is the him of the X-Men universe, where these people, they transcend the character they play, and they are that character now. And Chad said it best, and and after this, Joe, you can have it and tell me, all of your thoughts. But there are certain people, certain voice actors that you cannot look at without hearing the voice of that iconic character. And Peter Cullen, 100%. I know he did a whole bunch of other voices that are here on screen, but that Optimus Prime one, there will be nothing else like you. It's just crazy. And just to me, rest in peace, Peter Cullen.
Huh. Okay. Well, here's a bunch of other stuff too. Did you know he was the first voice of Mario in the 1983 cartoon?
I feel like I've heard that, but it didn't sink in with me. So that's a very cool thing.
He also did the vocal effects for Gremlins, and he did the vocal effects for the Predator.
That's right. He absolutely did. I have notes here too, and I forgot to grab them. And I don't have some of those, but yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, I'm looking around the screen here, and I finally remembered who that's. Is that Viger or Venger? He's one of the Dungeons and Dragons, the main guy out of Dungeons, the red guy with the horn.
When I asked you that the other day in that collage picture you had, it was like a day later, and I was like, why do I know that image? I just don't know who the hell it is. And then I Googled it, and I'm like, oh yeah.
I was going to say, even in the G1 cartoon, he played Profit Director. What's up, my man? He played Optimus Prime plus Ironhide.
Yes, sir. Exactly. I was going to write that in my notes, but I'm like, why would I do it again when Joe's going to already have it?
He was another character too. It was one that had 2 little. I'm looking right at the guy. He played another character in Transformers, a smaller one, but yeah, him playing Car Just insane. And what was the character that he played? I see that's the Hanna-Barbera looking type thing.
Is that one of the Rangers from like Yogi Bear or something like
It,
that?
would, it has that Yogi Bear Ranger, unless that's Fred Flintstone in the future dressed up as a park ranger.
Something like that. I mean, I think we're both on the money with either one of those, though. And then I don't want to say I grew up watching Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends because that cartoon was on before I was born, but they had it rerunning. So I kind of did grow up watching it. I had no idea that he was the Red Skull and like Mysterio and crap like that in that cartoon. No idea.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I tell you what, so far as affecting generations, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, that's over. That's 4 generations, 40 plus years.
Yeah.
And absolutely, watching that, because I had heard Peter Cullen's voice before in Voltron and a couple other cartoons, but Optimus Prime, you could strip away everything but his voice.
Yep.
And he would not be, if you took the red truck, you take everything away, as long as he kept his voice. It's Optimus Prime. And I mean, like I said, that's something, and it really didn't bother, and I'm not saying it didn't bother me. I've been thinking about it all day. But coming in here into the cave, and believe it or not, I have probably, okay, we'll just say too many Optimus Primes. Optimus Prime is my robot space daddy. I'll be 100% honest. Whenever I was growing up, I had rough childhood, all this and that. And in the 80s, I was 10, 11, 12, around that. And that's whenever it was I'm glad I was a little bit older because I could see the Transformers and appreciate them. And it wasn't just a toy, which if you watch the G1 cartoon, your Transformers can't just be toys. They're imbued with such personality and absolute life that, I met Peter Cullen once and Frank Welker once. I met Peter Cullen at one of the Comic-Cons here. Super duper phenomenal guy. I went up there with an ex-girlfriend and she had a little baby, and this little baby was kind of squirming, and he was just all about the baby. Oh my goodness, come here to me, blah blah blah, you do. And I was like, well, that's awesome. I love the fact that you're holding the baby and all, but could you please sign my card? Sign the baby. That'd be fine too. I don't care. Whatever you feel like it. Oh, Rob 7857. He is one with the Matrix, he says to Kaz. Casual Toy Chat is in the chat, I guess.
Well, what's that?
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, the man didn't stop. Just last 3 months ago, they put out the last episodes of Invincible.
Yeah.
And he voiced Thaddeus in Invincible.
Now, right, I've never watched the show, but when I did the Google thing and it said that, I was like, oh, that's cool that he's, relevant to that audience as well now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember a Hot Wheels, or not Hot Wheels, but a Big Wheel commercial that he voiced. And oh, good Lord. I remember sitting there in the green shag carpet, watching the huge console TV that was also a record player in a bar. And yeah, man, he has permeated. I mean, just about every last bit of my entire life, really. I mean, up until 10, 11 years old, I didn't have any, you don't necessarily form hobbies at 9, unless you're a child of a collector. But yeah, man, the 86 movie, I think that was like one of the first movies I ever saw in the theater that I like really the whole thing blew me. That emotionally hit me. Whenever Optimus Prime died, oh, and now I've already got my tickets for next month, September 22nd. It's playing here in town.
Isn't
And
that
I guarantee
heartbreaking?
you, oh, do I want to sit in a theater with other 50-year-old men and cry my butt off? Yes, I do.
And you know what
I mean,
I've heard? That there's
hmm.
an extra bonus scene that he has recorded for it as well.
Oh man.
I heard that there's something at the end that he recorded for the movie for the 40th anniversary.
Wow.
So, yeah, there's going to be it's going to be I say epic, but I don't mean that in like the grand the grand, like, oh, this is epic, but it's going to be epic for the love that there is for Transformers. Like, I feel like a lot of people, well, I would like to think there's going to be a lot of people that turn out for it in their areas because, like, now knowing, oh, he's gone. And plus, it's the 40th anniversary. Like, I want to go. I want to take my daughter to see that in theaters. And again, now it has a different weight to it as well.
Exactly. I'm sitting here. I'm trying to open this up on my other phone so I can check the chat.
I know. I see some people. What is up, Kayla Boo? Hey. Awesome watching you play that. Alice. Oh my God. When I had that game originally on my Xbox 360, I remember skipping work because I was absolutely addicted to that game. If no one's ever played Alice, Madness Returns, holy crap, do yourself a favor and go check that game out. If you like, Tim Burton style, dark, creepy, macabre, twisted, messed up style of Alice in Wonderland where there's murder and darkness, check that game out. You will absolutely love it. It's fantastic. I give it a 10 out of 10. So it was really cool watching Kayla do her streams of playing that game when she could anyways, because I know I was giving her a hard time at times. But awesome game.
And you know what? I've been streaming to Facebook, but not YouTube all this time. There we go.
Hey, make sure you get it out there. Who else do we got here, though, in the chat? I don't want to miss nobody. Hinderer, the trailer is good. How is everyone? We're doing good. Thank you very much. Yo, Rob. Yo, Frost. Where's Frost? I didn't see him in here. Oh, there he is. You sneaky little snake. What is up, my brother? C. Frost. Sad day, Peter Cullen passed. Hinderer, yo, Frost. Hinderer, Comic Relief Crusader. What is happening? Thank you for popping in here. Appreciate it very much. Thanks. Glad you enjoyed it. I absolutely did. Madness Returns is awesome. You know it, Hinderer. Going to finish it tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers are crossed. Cooking dinner. Watching y'all. Thanks. Thank you all for joining. And, and I know this is going to sound really tongue-in-cheek, but we all kind of pimp ourselves out here on this platform. Everybody that's watching, please, not for my channel or Joe's channel, but if you could like and subscribe don't even subscribe. I don't even care, honestly. Just like the video for your little, imagine that being your little candle you're holding up for, the ones that have passed away that we're going to talk about. Just that little bit would make me personally feel like, we're doing the right thing with this, our tributes and our thoughts and stuff like that. Because sometimes it can come across as, oh, they're just trying to capitalize. No. Joe truly, I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but is your whole thing, your Optimus or your Joe Prime, your Transformer Joe names and stuff like that, that's obviously, you're a diehard Transformer guy. But your collection, for most people that don't know, it's primarily like you really love to collect all the different Optimuses that you can get.
I have said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm a fool for Optimus Prime.
Is that because of what Peter brought to the character and what the cartoon brought to you?
Absolutely. Okay. I cannot look at the figure without hearing, I am Optimus Prime. I cannot... I think Optimus Prime in Peter's voice. Does that make sense?
100%.
He sounds like Peter Cullen in my head. That is him. And yeah, absolutely. I have well over 1,000 primes. Optimus
Holy shit!
is
Are you serious?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Holy shit! I don't even know if I have
Too.
1,000 toys. Wow.
I mean,
I didn't even know that. Now my mind's blown, Joe.
like there's all those. Those are molds. Like up here, here. These are molds of Optimus Prime. But well, let's go around the other way. No. Like all the way down at the end, all the way up, all the way across. Everything on the top rack is all Optimus. And then this is all Optimus down through here. That's all Optimus, all Optimus, all Optimus. Yeah, all of these, both those shelves, and then most of this shelf here.
Damn, dude. Well, spoiler alert. Out of the many things that are going to be in your box that are on your way, you can say now you have probably 1,002 Optimus Primes.
I absolutely love Optimus Prime. The more so, I respect Optimus Prime. I respect the man. Peter Cullen never had a scandal, never had anything weird. He was just a normal dude who had a great background, and he had a true sense of morality, it seemed to him. And he was enough in the public eye that I think I can make that call. If he can be in the public eye as much as he was and as long as he was, and for us never to hear a bad thing about him.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, I look at that picture there with him holding Optimus, and it's synonymous. Is that the word I'm looking for? It's where it's one thing.
Oh, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I don't know what the word is, but it just, you don't, how do you put it into words? You don't, I feel like, if I can try to figure out the wording, I feel like Peter is looking at himself.
A reflection.
Yes, it's not, maybe, I don't want to think for him, but I don't feel like his thoughts are, oh, look at this piece of plastic that they based on a character I made. I feel like he's looking at his entire legacy, his entire, life, everything that people look at him as, this beacon of hope, if you will.
There you go.
And I really do feel that way about him as well, because, again, I'm not a Transformer guy, so I don't keep my ear to the ground of his life, but I've never heard one ill word or story or what have you about this guy. I know there's plenty of people out there like it, but it's nice to know that when they casted him to be Optimus, it's almost like they knew this was the right guy.
Oh, exactly.
So,
exactly. It was, and I mean, everybody knows the story of him and his brother, and his brother being the Marine, the one who, whenever he went into that Optimus, he was channeling his brother, and
right.
I watched a bunch of interviews with him this afternoon. My God dang it.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I'm trying to get to these comments and just throw them up on the screen. All right, we're all caught up. There we go. Yeah, it's just an absolute bummer. Like, I message, and I hated being the one to be like, oh, I better message people and tell them that so-and-so's gone. But like I told Kaz this morning when I messaged him, my immediate thought was my Transformer friends. And the three that I immediately messaged were Joe, Kaz, and TKD Bar. I immediately messaged those three and sent them all the same, story or whatever the thing is that I sent them. And then the three of us on our own pace, we've all conversated throughout the day kind of about, what our thoughts were and, our feelings and stuff like that, because I don't know, I care about my friends for one, and I know that some of them are going to be affected by this more than, let's say, I can't make up a thing, but let's say someone from Ninja Turtles passes away. It's going to obviously affect me in a different way than it's going to affect the rest of my friends. but I know there's going to be some of my friends that are out there that are like, oh shit, like I hope my friend is doing okay because of this information. And that's how I felt with this, more than like me personally losing, somebody that I appreciated. Of course, it's somebody that's got a history with the stuff that I love, nerdy stuff. But I know how much that 86 movie meant to a generation of kids. I've heard, oh my gosh, since I was little, from my uncle, I cried in that movie. I don't give a shit. I cried. So I always knew Optimus, spoiler alert, folks, Optimus was going to die in the movie. So to me, it was just how impactful, how epic can they make it in the film for me to feel it, right? Like that was my connection. And as many as my friends know, this year was the first year that I actually even watched the original 86 movie for the very first time, many months ago at this point. So, sorry I slept on that for so long there, Mr. Cullen, but I finally got around to it because of the love and the support that, you guys have for the Transformers, and saying, hey man, you really got to check this movie out. You're going to like it. You're going to dig it. And I got to say, as many, things I can pick apart, I genuinely enjoyed the piss out of that movie. And I just want my Transformer friends to be all right during this moment of, an icon, going away. So, yeah.
Yes.
Guess I had some more people.
Cousin William showed up. How you doing, bud? And absolutely, Kaz, he had a personal sense of morality that just came through. Even whenever he was playing a bad guy, he just every time. Probably watched the 86 movie 30 times, Rob said. I agree, man. I have seen that movie so many times, and boy, howdy. Yeah. It kind of sucks, and it really is true. It's something that I haven't had to really think about today, other than the fact that, and I bet you I've had 35 people text me, hey, Peter Cullen passed away. I'm like, yeah, I just had 7 other people tell me, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were the first, and that, boy, I mean, really, after this week, we lost Hayden Panettiere, I think is how you say it. I
think that's how you say your last name. I always fumble it too.
Okay. And that was terrible to a supposed drug overdose. I don't really know exactly what happened. That's what TMZ said.
Yeah.
And how old was she?
She was my age.
What I she was 36.
Yeah.
Boy. And I mean, just think about that. I think about this every day that I get older. I think about the fact that there's someone out there. There's a lot of someone's out there. There's hundreds of thousands of someone's out there who aren't going to get a day older.
Yep.
But you're here.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Absolutely.
And the thought of a world without, number one, Dolly Parton as well. What a beam of sunshine. And Tim Curry. And then, what was it? I think Kaz mentioned this too. Think about how this hit Peter Welker. This has been your Comic-Con buddy for the past 40 years.
Yeah.
And Peter Welker, is a Megatron.
Frank Welker.
And all. Frank Welker. Sorry about that. I got Peter on the head. You know what I mean.
Nice cover there, Joe. Nice cover.
So I didn't say Peter on the brain. Anyway. Yeah, they were really, really good friends. I remember Tanya Hallegren, how you doing? You'll be here the 50 next years? Absolutely. Me too. Oh. Yeah, I tell you, and it's odd as well. This morning, I picked up a photo I found of my grandmother holding me whenever I was like a year old, and I was like, that was a minute ago.
Yeah. Time is the craziest. You got Tanya asking how old you are, if you don't mind her asking.
Miss Tanya, I think I'm going to be 54 this year. I was born in 1972. So I
There
think
you
I'm going to
go.
be 54. I'm pretty sure.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Oh shit, there was just something I was just gonna say, and I forgot. I don't even remember now. I don't even remember. Oh, time. Time is the strangest and most valuable currency we can absolutely ever have. There's never enough of it. It supplies everything we do. I don't care if anybody wants to break it down and be like, well, what do you mean? Time is everything. We have clocks in our homes and on our phones to remind us of when and where we have to be at any point in time. We are slaves to time because we need time on our side, because the faster it goes, the less we can get done. And like Joe said at the beginning of the show here, our heroes are getting to that point where it's normal for people to die, right? First and foremost, it's normal for people to die, but it's getting to that point now where I'm going to be 40 in 3 years. That means 40 years ago, when Peter Cullen was doing Optimus for the 86 movie, I wasn't even born yet. So he already had 40 years on me. Okay. My whole life, not in reality, but I'm trying to play catch up at that point, because it's like, wow, there's 40 years of something that I can just enjoy 40 years of this. And I don't put it in perspective that, well, shit, I'm almost 40. Well, oh my God, he's in his 80s now. I keep thinking to myself that 40 years that I'm catching up on, he's still sitting there waiting for me to get to where we are. And now we're both going to be at that same age, pushing it forward. And
There you go.
You can interject any character, actor, whoever you want in there. I always think of Indiana Jones. I always think of Harrison Ford when I think of myself getting older, because we do see those Indiana Jones movies where he's getting older progressively. And even if we bring him back as a character, what the fuck is he really going to do? Like, practically, what would Indiana Jones even do? But we tell ourselves the character is still only in his 50s, but the human isn't. The human is now 80. And with someone like Peter, you don't see him aging, to be like, wow, I'm pushing 55, 60. Well, the last time I saw him, he had black hair. It was slicked back and a mustache. Well, now he kind of looks the same, but there's 20 years of wrinkles added to it. And I think, for me, I do lose perspective at times and think that these humans are standing still waiting for me to find them, to continue watching where they have been, instead of being like, oh no, we never stopped. You still have more to go. And it's basically facing your own mortality at that point and being like, holy shit, like, yeah. So it's sad and it's super scary, honestly. Like, it really is. Because Joe, like you said, you were born in 72. Well, 15 years later, or whatever it is, when the movie came out in 86, Peter was already in his 30s and 40s doing that.
Yep.
So you being a teenager, that's new to you. That's like, oh my God. It just, and then to think you've gotten 40 more years of that individual, providing you that enjoyment you had as that little kid. And I feel like that's what we have to hold on to, is the idea of like, wow, we had that time and then all the other time with him,
Yeah. That is very true. And to piggyback on what you were saying, man, I'm not going to say every actor, because just the ones I like, whenever I see them in something I like, I encapsulate them there in that place and time. Like you think of Harrison Ford, you don't think of the Harrison Ford now that has white hair. And I saw him recently. He can barely hold his hand still. You know, he's aged.
Yep.
And we all are. But whenever we see these characters, whenever we take them, and we take them straight into our hearts,
Yes.
you know. And when we do that, we freeze them in time. Like you were saying right there.
Exactly. We freeze it in time. Like, because when I think of Indiana Jones, obviously I've seen all the movies. I watched even the TV show Young Indy and stuff. So I have like a nice palette of an Indiana Jones, but I always picture Raiders of the Lost Ark, the poster for it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how I always pick. Even when someone says, "Oh, Han Solo," my brain instantly goes to Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark, the movie poster, instantly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's Harrison Ford in my head. Like even to this second, I've seen him older. I've seen him age throughout his whole life. But I still have the young Indiana, not the young Indy, I shouldn't have said that, but the younger Indiana Jones of Harrison Ford in my head when I picture him.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. There was a couple of good points made in the chat here. I'm
trying to post them all up. Sorry, I'm not. Oh, first and foremost, sorry to anybody that's new to the Aces Place, part of this. I'm trying to keep up with the chat and stuff. I'm doing it all on my phone, but it is on the bottom of the screen where all your guys' comments are. So if I'm not tagging you, it's just because I'm trying to keep up and pay attention to the conversation as well. So please don't take that personally. I do appreciate all of you for interacting, and we are looking at all the comments for sure.
Absolutely.
Now,
I was going to say hello to Ryan. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Super sad
hello.
day, difficult day. He said gut punch. That's a good word for it.
Now, I know it seems like 90% of us in here are the Transformers fans here to show a little love for Peter. I don't have a deep dive of the Hayden, actress, but I do have, a picture I'd like to throw up to just kind of show my respects to her. Actually, you know what? I do have this that I want to share. This is like a quick little filmography I found on Google that I was like, oh, okay, maybe we could just kind of rattle off some of these movies and be like, yeah, I've seen this or not. So
There you go.
just to pay and first and foremost, I know the title of this episode is like paying the respects or whatever it is to those who made us. Now, Peter, Tim Curry, and even Dolly Parton for a generational, they are people of inspiration or models. I don't mean any discredit to this Hayden actress at all, but I threw her on here because she is a recent movie actress that's passed away. She is somebody a lot of us are familiar with a face, and maybe possibly she is a role model or something to that degree to somebody that might be listening. And I didn't want to be disrespectful and then not include her and then have someone say, well, what about this? And then me look like an idiot. So I am familiar with this actress through primarily the Scream franchise. I watched a few episodes of Heroes back in the early 2000s, and A Bug's Life is my number one favorite Pixar movie of all time. She is Princess Dot. I think she's princess. She's princess. She's one of the princesses. Little Dot, the youngest little aunt. And then some of these other movies I've seen, but I'm not super familiar with them. But the Scream ones for sure, as I own all of them and I like them. And then A Bug's Life, again, is my number one Pixar movie. I've seen it probably 1 billion times. So there is that. And if anybody has any comments, go right ahead.
I was going to say The Cove is a good movie. Racing Stripes is a funny movie. Let me see. Raising Helen, I know I've seen that one before. Yeah. But yeah, I like I said, and I didn't even know this, but my girl's in there watching Heroes. She's been catching up on that series. And then whenever I said, oh yeah, hey, we're watching the Heroes, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, this happened today. That was last week. And that was
Yeah.
terrible. She was an aspiring actress, still young
There
and
you go.
aspiring actress.
Yes. And for me, she's a my generation actress. We're the exact same age, 36 years old. So for me, this doesn't hit me on an emotional level, but kind of, again, facing that mortality thing of like, wow, this beautiful girl was my age and going through, maybe similar, mental things that I might go through. And it just put something different in perspective because unlike the other three actors or, celebrities we're talking about, they were all in their 80s. They were all pushing that age to where it seemed it's at some point it'll happen. But a 36-year-old, whether it was self-inflicted or whatever the situation is, it just sucks. Like it feels too real because like I'm that age and it's just icky. It's just an icky thing. Trying to get all these comments again.
Damn it, Ryan.
Oh yeah, Optimus Prime quotes. I had a few of them here. And I was going to say one right after we kind of got done talking about him. But this is the one that I thought was really prominent for him. There is a thin line between being a hero and being a memory. And I absolutely think that is really right on the nose for Peter Cullen and Optimus Prime's characters, because no one going forward will ever be able to say, oh, Optimus Prime, what was the actor's name that played him? They're synonymous. And that's the word you were looking for earlier, Joe.
There.
It just came to me naturally, synonymous. So I think that's a really great thing because he is a hero to a lot of kids in real life. To the Transformers universe, Optimus was a hero, and he won't just be a memory. Neither one of them will ever just be a memory. So I really thought that was cool. And then, of course, freedom is the right to all sentient beings. One shall fall, one shall stand, or vice versa. And then this one is from the movies, but I thought it was really great when I watched it earlier. I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message to any surviving Autobots taking refuge among the stars. We are here. We are waiting. And that choked me up to read, honestly. I can't even lie. That one choked me up.
I'm glad you can't see my face.
Because I did, during It's Chad stream earlier, I put on the Optimus Prime movie. It might as well be. The original, Michael Bay Transformers flick. It is one of the better ones. And I watched that. And then, I just kind of went through some emotions watching it myself and wrote that one down while I was watching it because I just thought it was it was awesome and it sticks. So now that we kind of did this, I'm going to throw her back up on the screen real quick just as her little,
There you go.
There we go. There she is right there. A little love and respect to her. And then we'll go back over. I thought I had the Peter Cullen one, but I don't. But and then I don't have much. I don't really have anything. This is going to sound awful, but I don't have anything for Dolly Parton other than just this image. Now, I'll be the first to admit I am not a country person. I grew up listening to country music. I've heard all of her I was about to say the F word because I just don't really care for country music, and that's how I always talk about it, but I don't want to be disrespectful. I am not a country music fan. There are some songs I like. Randy Travis would be my favorite musician for country music if I did have one. Him and Brooks and Dunn, that duo back in the day. I probably like those two bands or groups, whatever, the most. But I've heard it all, from the bluegrass to all of it, man. So Dolly Parton is someone that I grew up listening to, but I don't have an emotional connection because her music just never grabbed me. I always thought it was catchy and, boot kicking, you could definitely get down to it and dance to it and have a good time
Yeah.
and feel her emotion. But I am always transparent with everybody. I'm not here to kiss ass. I do not have any stories or anything like that, but I do want to show my respect because I know how much of an icon she is to that entire industry. I know she's been in movies, TV shows. I specifically remember in the early 2000s when I was dating my first girlfriend, she watched Hannah Montana all the time. And I didn't know that this was like her aunt in real life or something like that. But
Yeah.
Dolly Parton was on that Hannah Montana show a lot. So I always kind of remember seeing her there. But other than that, I want to pay my respects to her and stuff like that. And anybody that's feeling the loss, I respect that. So, to kind of continue our Mount Rushmore of, tributes, she would be the fourth one to be thrown up there in all that respect.
Absolutely. No, I was raised on around here. We called it 61 country. Every fifth song was a Dolly Parton song. I love her, appreciate her music, appreciate her contributions to society. The woman was a philanthropist.
Yep.
Charitable, had so many charitable organizations, ones that are going to be going on forever. Something interesting I saw about her on her, did you see she's got a chest with a recording in it, like one of her last recordings, and it's locked up, and it's got this deal that she wrote on there that this is not to be opened until her 100th birthday, whether she's here or not. And I thought,
wow.
that's something to look forward to. In a couple of, in like 2031 or some kind of weird number that I never thought we would see as people, Just think about that, man. It's wow.
Yeah, that's
first and foremost,
leaving a mark. That's leaving a mark for your legacy because, I mean, it's morbid to think about that probably, to certain people to be like, well, I'm going to leave this for when I'm dead. But it's also, that's pretty badass right there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's cool to know,
I thought that was pretty interesting. And
yeah,
I just wanted to, I didn't say hi to Caleboo earlier. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing this evening? Very good to see you. She's eating dinner right now. That sounds like a great idea.
Sure?
I'm starving.
I know. I had a ham sandwich earlier, and it's delicious. It's pretty damn good ham. But I've got
this is fucking good ham.
You know what's strange, and I'm just kind of putting it together right now. Kayla, did you just say you're having pork chops? Right? Isn't that what she just said?
Pork
Yep,
chops,
pork
mac
chops,
and cheese, mashed potatoes, and gravy.
Man, that is, call it, a holy trinity of ham, but she's eating pork chops. I had a ham sandwich earlier, and my dinner tonight, by all means, I swear, is pulled pork.
Ooh, that does sound
How
good.
strange is that? All three, ham-centric foods. Interesting. Maybe that's a sign of good things to come. Maybe someone's going to be blessed with a potbelly pig as a pet. You never know.
Oh, I've been watching all the miniature pig things. I think they're beautiful. I'd take one.
Oh my gosh, when we went to the zoo, I hate to get off topic, but Joe specifically I'm kind of talking to. When we went to
let's take 5 minutes off topic. I need to kind of compose. That's fine.
All right, we could do that. Let me take this off the screen because I don't have another one. And when we do come back or get back into it, we are going to be talking about the last individual, which will be our Tim Curry. But when we went to the zoo last week, they had big, fat, beautiful, like boars, big tusks and thick, coarse hair. Man, I must have sat there for probably 10 minutes just with my arm inside the cage, just petting these three fat, like piggies. I absolutely loved them. I grew up on a farm, pig farm, cattle farm, all that stuff. So piggies, I love me a good looking little piggy.
Oh my God, yes, the little piglets are very cute. I was bugged for a piglet at one point in time. There was one up to foster, down at my local animal shelter, and I gave the alternative. We have 4 cats. I was like, you get rid of 3 cats equals 1 pig. Get rid of 3 cats, you can have 1 pig. And
Yeah.
thank God we didn't give a pig.
Oh man, if someone offered me a potbelly pig as a pet, I'd be like, yes, yes, and yes. Where do I sign? Oh gosh, I would love one.
Oh
I
yeah,
am-
9 to 5. Ryan is talking about was an awesome. Ryan, 9 to 5. Do you consider that country music? 9 to 5.
All right, so I generalize country music by like what the artist is mostly known for.
Oh, okay.
So, like with Johnny Cash, for instance, right? I've had debates with people of like, well, is he country? Is he rock and roll? And I'm like, he's rock country. He's both. Like that to me, he's rock country. He's got that twangy sound, that down, 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 down. Like that's very country, but it's got that hard rhythm rock to it to where you're not just sitting there, twiddling a hay bale around. I could be wrong, but that's
No,
that's
I fit because I just think about all of his stuff's got like 12 boom 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 boom. Yeah, he's got a lot of. I would consider he's more like a Jerry Lee Lewis or something like that, So
yeah.
he kind of transcends all those right there a little bit.
Right. So it's but with Dolly, I mean Jolene's not, I mean, is that country? Is that really a country song? Not really. But it's it's her, it's like her southern voice.
Yeah.
It's just it's the whole aesthetic that to me makes it, what I would label as country. Because didn't she I could be totally wrong, but wasn't she known for going on like the Grand Ole Opry and stuff like that?
Oh my God, yeah, that was her whole thing. Yeah, the Grand Ole Opry, and she absolutely. If you were to ask her, she would say she's country.
Right, and I'm sure if I asked Johnny Cash, he'd probably say he's country. That's probably to him his version of country. So I could be wrong, but
yeah,
that's just how I label it. I remember I had a friend. I heard Green Day. This was like 10 years ago. They played Green Day, Wake Me Up When September Ends. They played that on Pix 106 as classic rock. And I remember saying on Facebook at the time, I'm like, when the fuck did this song become classic rock? And my friend's like, dude, Green Day's always been rock and roll. I'm like, no, they haven't. They've always been punk rock. So classic rock, where they're playing like AC/DC and Judas Priest and Ozzy, I do not consider, especially Wake Me Up When September Ends, of all songs, to be a classic rock song. Like,
that was a good 20 years ago that came out, wasn't it?
but do you consider that classic rock? I mean,
No.
but then again, is classic... Well,
yeah,
is
I started
classic
freaking
rock...
out when I was like, why is Motley Crue playing? That's not classic rock.
Well, see, I guess that would be the difference. There would be like a slash in the middle of it, because classic rock could be punk rock. It could be rock and roll. It could be whatever has the word rock in it, I guess, is labeled, classic rock. But to me, it was just, couldn't they have picked something off of like Dookie and said that was classic more than Wake Me Up When September Ends? I mean, American Idiot came out in 2007, 2008, 2000, something like that. So I don't know. It's just the spelling.
That would be more.
Music.
I think it's how they classify it so far as like you would a car. Classic is anything over 20 years old that, and rock, it falls into the rock genre. I think it's more genre than anything else. But absolutely, yeah. I hated whenever I stopped hearing the Beach Boys and I started hearing Def Leppard. Going from classic rock to classic. I know. I'm like, no, this isn't classic rock. The Beach Boys, Neil Sedaka. That's classic rock.
I was so confused as a kid when I would be literally listening to Pix 106, got all the greats, and then I'd say hang out with my grandmother, but I'd go with my grandmother and she'd have the music on, and they'd be like, here are the golden oldies, the music that rocked you back then. And I'd be like, oh, cool. And then you get Brian Wilson with the Beach Boys, and it's like, what the fuck, Grandma? Like, is this real people singing that song? What is this? Very, very. And then I had, like I said, country music. My dad, he always thought he was Alan Jackson. He tried to look just like him, long blonde hair, played a guitar. Man, so when I have a disdain for country music, it's because it was almost like it was like beat into my head that, boy, you gotta like country music because you're from the country. Like, no, sir, no, ma'am. So I always listen to rock and roll, heavy metal, grunge music, alternative rock. Like my favorite band in high school was System of a Down.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely love them. But I am going to read a couple comments real quick. Oh, nothing's really changed. I always thought of Green Day as alternative. Yeah, okay, there you go. Alternative rock. So I basically probably answered my own question just by saying those words out loud. Rob, and metal is metal. Absolutely. And there's a really killer song. If anybody, since we're talking about music real quick, if anybody likes Jack Black and Kyle Gass's band Tenacious D, or if you've never even heard of them, check them out. They got some pretty cool music. It's definitely not for everybody. You might find the one song that speaks to you, or the one that's like, yep, this is groovy. I want to get down with these guys. So give them a chance. But they've got a really cool metal song. I forget what it's even called, but New Wave tried to destroy the metal, but the metal was all they knew. Yeah, so get down with it. Tenacious D is a pretty fucking awesome movie. And you know what? That's a great transition, because not only in Tenacious D is that a movie about music and one of the best musical movies of all time, it has some of the greatest musical cameos in it of all time. From oh god, now I'm gonna draw a blank, Joe. You've got Ronnie
Alice
James
Cooper.
Dio, and Meatloaf. Meatloaf was the one I was trying to think of specifically.
Oh, there you go.
So Meatloaf, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with Meatloaf, I really don't know how the fuck you even got to this spot in your life, because I would do anything, and that's all I'm singing because I'll get in trouble. But it's Meatloaf.
But he won't do that.
But he won't do that. And if you're familiar with that Coca-Cola commercial, that's when I first heard that song way back in the 90s. But Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell, volumes 1, 2, 3, 5, 12, 36, however many of them he's made. All of his music is really great. If you love storytelling, Meatloaf is your guy. And why am I talking about Meatloaf, people? Well, let me hit my BONGO real quick, and we'll get right into the next character.
I tell you what, man, I had that Meatloaf cassette, Bat Out of Hell. I wore it out cruising up and down Nolan Road in my 94 IROC.
There you go.
That was one of the crappiest cars. That was one of the crappiest cars I ever had. But boy, howdy, did it look good.
It's all about the appearance.
Oh, and
there you go, Rob.
It was the blue. It was the blue and the ice blue. Oh, it was nice.
And absolutely, Rob, that is where we're going to go next. I don't have any pictures of him, of Meatloaf. From that? No, I don't, unfortunately. I didn't. Oh, yes, I do. All right, so we're obviously just mentioned Meatloaf. Rob put in the comments, Rocky Horror Picture Show. And our last individual that we are going to talk about, for a little tribute here, is the one and the only, another absolutely iconic individual. Where is his picture here? I'll throw this one up. Is going to be the one and the only. Look at all these fucking characters, man. Tim Curry. Now, before we mention Tim Curry and his loss, we did mention Meatloaf, who was he played Eddie in the movie The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Now, A Mission of Guilt. I just watched this movie for the very first time earlier. We'll probably talk about it a little bit here, and if I don't get all my thoughts out on what I think of the movie, tune in tomorrow for the Ace in the Hole variety show, and I will do, if I feel like it, a more in-depth little review of the movie itself. But here is a picture of Meatloaf from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Sorry for the squeamish or the people that can tell this is absolutely fake. In the movie, Meatloaf plays a character named Eddie. I really am fucking confused by a lot of the movie, but he is a rock and roll guy. He gets basically captured by Dr. Frankfurter and then eventually killed by him on screen. You see it. And then there is a big reveal at a dinner, and this was the reveal. And here is Eddie. I think I got this right. So we've got, I don't even know what these other pictures are yet. Hold on. Oh yes, this picture specifically. I wanted to mention this. What in blue blazes in all hell kind of underpants are those?
Those are the underpants of the righteous, of the morally righteous, right there.
Oh my Lanta! I had to screenshot this picture because I'm like, what the hell? What is? I thought he had a diaper on, and I'm like, did they stack him full of like socks to make him look huge? And then the underwears themselves, they're like quarter of his body. They're huge.
Okay, now look at this realistically. Is that his belly button directly above the waistline of the underwear?
That's what I'm saying.
And then how long is that? He's got a 22 pack. His midriff just goes down forever.
Seriously, man. My belly button and my waist are basically our neighbors. Like his are, around the corner fucking distant cousins. But I saw those underwears. As you know what, and anybody can call me silly names in the comments because yes, you got Susan Sarandon standing there in her little underwears too, but I couldn't help but be gravitated to that man's, Galvatron and be like, holy shit, I gotta ask my friends from the 80s and the 70s, did they have underpants like that? Like, good gravy. It looks, those underpants, they look like something a beekeeper would put on so he didn't get stung. That's all I got on that. I don't have any other pictures for that, but that's what I got right there. But we have got truly an absolute screen icon. Where the frig did that picture go? Right there. With Tim Curry. This guy. This absolute icon right here. I'm sure everybody, all of us connected, could probably name off every single one of these roles right here. And then there's roles that aren't even on this picture that are still characters and stuff like that from other movies he's done. So it's completely limitless of what this man has done. I personally was I didn't cry or anything, but I still am totally bummed out when I hear and I look at his face and I think he's not alive anymore. Now, for anybody that isn't aware, maybe within the last 10 years, maybe more, Tim Curry suffered a stroke or multiple strokes. I'm not entirely sure. And it left him completely disabled, motorized around in like a wheelchair. He was still able to talk, but it left him, with a lot of paralysis and stuff. And it's always hard to see any human being like that. I don't want to, put anyone on a pedestal. But of course, because we're talking about people that are iconic and that, almost transcend being a normal person. So when you think of this human and all these characters right here, and then you think of them as like, the last 10 plus years he's been living in a wheelchair, not being able to perform, because this gentleman, one hell of an entertainer, but he was a performative artist. He put all of his everything in his facial expressions, his voice, his mannerisms, all of it. Every character he ever played. Like right now, I have on my TV, and I'm not even kidding you. Let's see if it pops up again. Where is he? He's right there. getting away with the gold. There's John Silver, and I'm watching Muppet Treasure Island. This is my favorite performance of his of all. Well, I don't know if it's my favorite performance, actually. It's my favorite movie that he's ever been in. It's questionable. I understand that, but I love Pirates. This is the first movie I ever saw him in, and it's just captivating. His eyes, his teeth, his face. He's a caricature of himself with those expressions, and it bleeds through with characters like Pennywise, as you can see right there in the screen.
Yeah.
I got another image of him specifically. Like, look at that. This was 1990. A TV series called Pennywise, called It, from Stephen King, and most of us are familiar with it. I grew up with this. This is my favorite version because it's all practical, and sure, there might have been a couple spots here and there that they used whatever on, but all of his facial features and expressions, and that weird, come on, Billy, that weird voice he would get where it sounded nasally and congested, but he talked clear and profound. I'm upset that he's gone. I'm genuinely upset that he's gone in a selfish way, because my God, he made the 90s for me. This was one of those actors that just stood right out to me as a kid in the 90s. And from watching his performance for the very first time from the 1975 movie, Rocky Horror Picture Show, to seeing him in, Muppet Treasure Island, to Scary Movie 2, to whatever other ones, The Wild Thornberrys. I don't know if any of you guys have ever watched that cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
It came on. It came on when I was a little kid. You've got Nigel Thornberry, who is played by Tim Curry, and it is a mom and a dad, and they bring their kids on a global safari hunt, or not a hunt, but expedition, where they're doing a TV show, and he's just a side character, really. He's not even the main person, but he's so captivating. The way the cartoon picture looks. He's up here in the corner, the top right corner, right there, with the big orange mustache. And I'll never be able to watch that cartoon with my daughter now and not think like, oh, he's gone. So it's a bummer. From Clue to Home Alone 2, man, Legend, all of it. Three Musketeers,
What was that name of the movie he was in with Sylvester Stallone, where he played the language tutor?
Oh,
That was probably one of my. That was one of my favorite ones. I constantly am quoting that. Ooh, you have a dangling participle.
Joe, you can keep carrying on the conversation. I'm just gonna throw up your thoughts on Tim Curry. Your first movies you watched with him, and I know you're the one that kind of not pushed me, but helped me get to watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show today or tonight.
Yeah.
So you've already told me your experiences with it. So you have been just like with. I hope you're comfortable if you want to tell the stories of your backstories with the movie, but just like Peter Cullen, from what you've told me, you were influenced by Tim Curry, and or at least that movie, to do certain things that you did. And again, if you feel comfortable sharing, your past history with it, go ahead. If not, well, I just put you on the spotlight. Sorry.
Well, no, that's I did theater. I did theater in junior high. I did community theater there. We had a big, huge university here that did theater. I was in a couple of productions of Scrooge whenever I was a younger, shorter person. Then I did theater all throughout high school. I've done tons of musicals. Bye Bye Birdie, my favorite musical in the world. I've got to play Mr. McAfee, which is the girl's dad, who Paul Lynde played, who's one of my favorite actors of all time. Paul Lynde, my favorite square on the four squares.
Oh, I love that show.
Oh yeah, I did all kinds of theater. And you know what? Peter Cullen and this gentleman right here, Tim Curry, we would go. Whenever we were doing theater people, we're our own bunch, and this is kind of a true story. Well, this is a very true story. After we would do our theaters or our productions for whatever we were doing, there's a place here in town, Bannister Mall. They had a theater that ran the Rocky Horror Picture Show Friday and Saturday nights, and we would go out there either Friday or Saturday night. And I have seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show in the theater, thrown tampons, blown bubbles, yelled at the screen. And I've probably been to seen it in the theater 20 times at least. I have dressed as Frankenfurter, probably 10 of those 20. Eddie, I got to dress up as Eddie a couple of times. Frankenfurter was fun. I had a lab coat with blood all over it and a pair of big spiky boots, and I wore some hella cool makeup, man. I had a fun time.
Thank you.
You will. Oh, hey, Bill, how's it going, buddy? You will never ever. There's no other interactive movie on the face of this planet like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. If you ever get a chance, go to it, even if you're just a spectator, because there's going to be a crowd full of people there, and they're going to be saying a lot of funny shit. But yeah, and I had kind of aspirations of acting. I did that for a couple of years after high school in our little community theater. And these people, Tim Curry, just the way they could, and maybe that's kind of what I take my cues in speaking from, just keeping the vocals sharp, yet Tim Curry could round them out whenever he would, like his It, like exactly what you were saying with the It. His face was completely different. It still looked like him, but he could just sound so different in every character. His voice for Legend was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I don't know, have you ever seen the movie Fern Gully?
Yes, I have. The one with Robin Williams?
Yes, Robin Williams is baddie. Tim Curry is I don't know what the character's name is, but he's the toxic waste monster. And if people, when you're done listening to this stream, just YouTube Tim Curry in Fern Gully, him singing, when he sings the first song where he's like, I don't know. I don't even want to do it because I know I'll get copyrighted for it because I know the song. I love the movie. I love that movie so much. Mm-hmm. So when he's singing his toxic ways, all that crap, you hear it. After watching Rocky Horror today, it makes so much sense why he sang the way he did in Fern Gully. He sounds just like Frankfurter when he's getting into those low octaves and just really setting. It's, my God, it was so impactful to me as a kid. It literally made his villain in that movie scary because his voice was just, it was, oh my God, it prominent. And then you've got Tone Loc in it. Tone Loc with another crazy voice for people that don't know. He plays a lizard. You got three really, big voices in that movie with Tim Curry, Robin Williams, and Tone Loc. So, Fern Gully, amazing movie, and rest in peace to Robin Williams. That's somebody, Joe. I would love to do a full hour on Robin Williams. That's somebody I genuinely cried like a bitch when he died. Like, I don't even care. I cried like an ass. I still have his obituary. I was like, I want that. Like, I think it was his obituary or some kind of article in the newspaper of him, his first passing away kind of story. And then I'm like, I want that. He was an absolute idol of mine as a kid and still absolutely is.
Space Trucker hopped on. Hey, how's it going, buddy? He wrote he was a recluse for a while after his stroke, and then he started doing Cameo, which helped him break through his illness. And I remember that. I remember hearing that. I watched a couple of recent interviews with him. And,
Oh, cool.
yeah, we probably all watched the same one where he's sitting there in the wheelchair. He can't move his body, but his face and his eyes are still just as animated. Matter of fact, there were several times they were talking back and forth. He moved his eyes or contorted he didn't even need to move his body. Just that 6x6 square inch, his face, like, made the whole crowd, just crack up laughing.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen a couple of, I don't know if they're interviews, but maybe they're seminars, I think, where he's like up on stage sitting in the wheelchair and talking. And it's even his cadence now where he says something. And it's just like you said, that slight movement of even just his eyes where it's like, oh, he's pulling the wool over our eyes right now, this guy.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
The fact that he didn't lose that ability at the end, I'm sure, just like because of Cameo, it was refreshing for him to know I still have life in this vessel that is giving up on me. And
absolutely,
it's just sad to see the people like that literally, fall to the wayside, but to find some sort of way of life through it, that's the best part of it. He's got right here, Space Trucker. And I did hear this actually earlier on It's Chad. Speaking of Tim Curry's voice, there is a rabbit hole where Mark Hamill stole the Joker role from Tim Curry. I've heard that.
Oh my!
And do we think his Joker would have been kind of like his Pennywise, or do we think he would have been a more like, "Hey, I'm the Joker"? It's an interesting thought.
I think it would have been more that second, but still, it would have had his, sort of. Because no matter what he did, he still had that proper English, almost the low end right there in everything.
Yes, exactly.
That would have been very cool.
Like a regal kind of performance. No matter his character, he always did have this like uppity almost sense about him to where I feel like his Joker would have been, what's the best one to kind of compare it to?
Oh, there are clips on YouTube. Ooh, that would be interesting.
Probably. Is it Under the Red Hood? Yeah, it's Under the Red Hood. That version of the Joker in that animated movie.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember who the hell did his voice.
Where he still has the higher pitched voice, but he's not real squeaky like Mark Hamill.
Right, Mark Hamill went with a more
he speaks and he's eloquent.
Yes, that's the word, eloquent. Yes. Yeah, you can post the link. Absolutely. If it'll allow you, you go right ahead. If not, I don't know how to help you with that because we're kind of tech illiterate over here. Sorry, folks. And actually, I do have this picture here I want to throw up.
Oh, exactly. And we're stuck in StreamYard. If I try and go anywhere else, I'm going.
Right. I don't know what I'd be doing anywhere. So here we've got obviously Dr. Frankfurter in the middle. We've got Columbia to the left, and then we've got Magenta over there to the right. And you know what, Joe, if you jump on tomorrow's show with me, I want to do the review of this movie because there's a lot of stuff. There is a ton of stuff I want to talk about with this specific movie. So if you're available tomorrow, expect a full conversation of what the hell did I just watch.
I tell you what, I will be, man. And you know what the funniest part of all this is? My parents never saw this movie until they were like, oh, I had already moved out of the house. My mom and dad watched it. And my mom called me and she's talking to me and she's like, hey, that Rocky Horror Picture Show, yeah, you went and saw the time when you was a kid? I'm like, yeah. She goes, we watched that. And my husband, yeah. She goes, it's filthy. And I was like, oh my God, Mom. That is the filthiest movie. It's filthy.
I don't think my mother's ever seen it. Like, and that's the thing. That's why a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of movies, but there's a good chunk of movies from the 80s and beyond and whatever that I never watched because one, we didn't have them in my house on VHS for me to be able to, snag them and sneak them and watch them. And then anything that was on TV that I knew was rated R or a little bit spicy, I was like, I can't. What are we doing here? I got fooled when I was little and I watched Casino on TV and they cut out all the good stuff and then they're putting in words like, I'm gonna banana your head in with a baseball bat. And I'm like, what? Who the hell?
Come back here, you mother flipper.
Yeah, like just stupid stuff. So I was like, no, I can't do this. So that's why I missed out on a lot of certain things. So, but it's nice to be able to come full circle and have the internet now. And then I do believe that is it for pictures that I have. I know I have this I'll throw up here too right now. We'll just kind of leave it there and end on that one. Ow, my finger. I just bent my nail back.
I've been fighting with one of those all day. This one right here, I got had that little quarter and I was like, oh, let me just peel that off. And it went all the way up. If you couldn't guess what color the cars were that I worked on today. It's just pretty blue.
Oh, I just peeled my fingernail right back.
Ow, I hate that.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like picking at a piece of plastic, trying to peel it off, and it, went the opposite way and pulled my fingernail back. Not a fun feeling. Not a fun feeling at all. So let me throw this right back up there. So yeah, one more shot of Tim Curry, his little rest in peace picture I figured I'd throw up there. And again, you got all those phenomenal, iconic characters that he's played, again, from It, with Pennywise, Dr. Frankfurter, Nigel Thornberry, one of the Three Musketeers. You've got, what was his name in that? In Legend. What the heck was his name?
I thought it was Satan.
I didn't think they actually called him that. I thought it was like Shadow or the Shadow or some stupid shit like that. I have to look into it. But yeah, that's basically who he is. He's the devil. I'm pretty sure that one shot to the left over next to my picture, I think that's from, I don't know. That could be from Charlie's Angels, because I know he was in that movie. That could be from Scary Movie 2. And then the one on the bottom is obviously, him from Muppet Treasure Island. And then the last one over there is him as the butler from Clue. Just totally an iconic character. And I mean, we could say it over and over. We don't know him enough to speak on who he truly is as a human being. But we can... Darkness, that's his name. His name is just straight Darkness.
There you go.
Now, I knew it was something generic, but also like, oh, no, that's kind of badass. That works.
Out him the devil.
And I knew they didn't just straight out call him the devil or Satan or anything like that. But it is what it is. I am, before we end it, because Joe, do you have anything else you want to add, dude?
That's pretty much it, man. Just, touch of mortality. Be happy you're waking up tomorrow somewhere someone isn't. And, it's weird. It's weird to think that the world goes on. This world never stops.
Exactly.
Enjoy your bright, shining moment in it, no matter what it is. Like I always say, buy that toy.
There you go, man. Absolutely. And this was just a picture that I threw together real quick earlier. Took a picture of this in the moment when it happened, because I just thought his face expressed exactly what this moment in the movie was, where it's bringing him a sense of joy to be doing what he's doing, but it's also breaking his heart at the same time. And he says this quote of, "It's not easy being..." What the hell does it say? It's so small, I can't even read it now. "It's not easy having a good time. Even smiling makes my face ache." And I felt like that was a bittersweet quote in the moment of like, oh, damn, yeah, you know what? We do smile through the hard times and we try to have, a good time through the bad times. And you can take that out of context, but that's how I feel about all 4 of these people that have passed away. Is we can sit here and we can cry and be sad, or we can, do what we all do and keep going and just enjoy the things that they were part of even more, and then just embrace why we love those things. And like Joe said, you don't have to be compulsive to buy something. You don't have to have a void in your heart to be like, oop, I need to get this to fix this. Live the way you want to live. Be happy with how you are. Be consistent. This is me speaking. Be consistent with who you are, and always be true to those people around you. I try to live my life every single day as if somebody is ready to call me out on I'm a liar, or I can't do this or that, because I can do this and that, and I don't lie. But I live like there's somebody ready to do that, because there's always somebody ready to call you out on something. So just enjoy what you're doing. I said this the other day in a stream, specifically about toys. Collect what you want to collect and don't worry about what other people think about it. And that goes for movies and celebrities and anything. You like the people you want to like. You celebrate them how you want to celebrate them. You mourn them how you want. You cherish them how you want. And as long as you're not hurting anybody, just enjoy what you're doing. And I'm going to burn one more. And then, you know what? I got one last thing I will say. But Joe, if you want to say what you got going on, this Sunday and stuff like that, go right ahead.
Oh yeah, we'll be doing Prime Pickup Sunday, which is gonna be fun. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. for you Eastern Standard. I've learned something Eastern Standard Time. I would like to say one thing. Ryan wrote this earlier, and I have gone back and I've looked at this, and I choked up. And I went back and I looked at it again, and I choked up. I want to read this so bad, but I don't know if I can. Did you read the quote that he wrote there for Optimus? I'm going to try and read this because I really love.
Where is it marked?
6:51 p.m. I don't know what that.
Let me.
It says now and forever my hero.
Hold on a second. I can get to it. Just give me a minute.
Oh, okay.
We had a lot of comments tonight, and I appreciate that by everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody that commented. Thank you, everybody that subscribed. Thank you, everybody that hit the notification bell. Thank you,
it was
everybody.
For you, so it's 7:51 for me. Shoot.
Oh.
I went, all right. I should be. Yes, right here. I'll read it if you want.
I was going to read. I've been trying to read it, even just in my head. Ryan wrote this, and this is just as phenomenal. Quote Optimus: "Above all, do not lament my absence, for in my spark, I know this is not the end, but merely a beginning. Simply put, a new transformation."
That, you know what? That's appropriate that was the comment you read for last. Joe Prime, I thank you very much and appreciate you very much for being my friend and being here and letting me share this moment with you and expressing something that means a lot to you and being part of that. And not only that, but for being vulnerable and expressing that with people that we don't know 100% that well and that are just here to be supportive. So thank you for that very, very much. And I'm going to say one thing and then I'm going to press the end. So are you good with that?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and family, whatever you're doing, whatever you have going on from the bottom of our hearts, we hope it's the very best.
And I'm going to try to say this without getting choked up. Autobots, roll out.
I'm Ace. Welcome to my place.